sense. Now, some of that is available in our literature through our Medifast programs, but they need to understand it in detail so it makes sense to them. So we've actually created a structural tension chart where they can, in time, write down to kind of keep track mentally how many calories. So their current reality is where they are now. Now, if they've been having the 5 and 1, they're between 800 to 1,000 calories, right? Right? And then they calculate using the calculation. They use the quick calculation, which is like 11 calories per pound, which is their new current weight. Or if they're more of an analyzer, then they can do all the calculations and figure it out. But then they write at the top what their calculated total energy expenditure is, and then that allows them to know that's how many calories they add. And depending on how long it took them to lose the weight, how much weight they lost, and it goes through all that in there, then they know how to fill that out. So see, now you have a tangible piece to put in front of them to guide them. Is that cool? Yeah, so it's going to make it a lot easier. And see, once they get the hang of using structural tension, you can use it for all aspects of their health, right? You can use it for every one of the habits. You can use it basically for them to take track, and it becomes very easy for you to help follow their progress. So talk a little bit about dining out real quickly.
All right, it also teaches them, they read it in the book, but it's, this workbook gives them lots of great, and I kind of already went over that, some exercises so that when they do dine out, that they make healthy choices. And, like ask for the bread, right when they bring it, oh no, we don't want any off the table. Just little helpful tips like that to make sure that they get the success that they're looking for.
Right, what you're doing is you're equipping your clients with the skills necessary to help make the choices. So, when I go to New York City, hey, I'm going to have the bread, right? The Italian bread in New York City, it's better than anything. But basically, when I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, and they bring out that muffin, I'm not going to waste my calories on that. Does that make sense? So you got to teach people, to make good choices, and that's really what it's all about. Okay, so basically this is the structural tension for Be Slim. We're going to fly through this. You can read all this. Now, in active living, the design was that I wanted to create an easy entry. When someone's 50 or 100 pounds overweight, the last thing they need to do is go out and start running, jogging, and using weight resistance training and doing all that in the beginning. If they've been sitting on a couch for 10 years, the last thing you want to do is overtax them. You can injure them, they're not ready, and I'm a real proponent that when someone's really overweight, exercise can actually hurt them. So what we do is, go ahead.
And a lot of people have been watching that Big Fat Loser or whatever it's called, where they're just taking these, and they work them so hard. So you really have to make sure that your clients are not doing that.
Exactly, because they're going to hurt their back or their knees, and it may injure them, which will limit them from having an active lifestyle, which will actually, over time, because remember, we're in it for the long haul. Over time, you make it harder for them to maintain a healthy weight. So what we want to do, and we focus using our portion control meal replacements on the energy inside of the equation, we start getting them healthy, and then what we do is we just start getting them doing more, right? Starting to do more, going to the restroom at the end of the hall, right? Going out for lunch and walking out and having lunch outside. Making sure they're just saying no to their appliances at home and doing the dishes or mowing the lawn or using, shoveling, but doing these in slow fashion so it makes sense. So basically, I developed the S's because these are 6 simple ways. Do you realize just getting up at work, and a lot of this work comes, I just took the theoretical work that's being done at Mayo Clinic by Levine and put it into practical sense. And so just by getting off your desk at work and standing up and getting a headset and walking around the room, when you stand up because of the core muscles, you start burning more calories. See, the thing is, you just need to say no to mechanization. In fact, 97% of our energy expenditure, active energy expenditure from physical movement, comes out of it, not in exercise. You have 168 hours in a week. If you apply every day, every moment, to using the walkway rather than the people mover, you're adding meat, right? Did you see Brian Byer yesterday? He's thin, isn't he? Why? Did you ever see him stop? He was moving here, he's moving over there, he's moving over here. I mean, that guy's burning some meat, and that's his occupation, so he's doing it naturally. If you're a jackhammer or you're Lance Armstrong, who burns 8,000 calories a day when he's in training, then you don't have to worry much about other things, do you? But for most of us that have daytime jobs where we're sitting, we need to add NEAT to our activity. So we teach people how to do that. We take them along slow, show them how to do that. I'm just going to fly through this. And basically, we teach them their goals. We get them on a walking goal. So then when they're ready, and now they're starting to feel better, we put them on a walking program. The goal is to get them to 20,000 steps. We show them how much each step so they can measure it. or they can just use the points and make it easy. We put them on the program, the walking program. We start setting their goals over time. So you can follow them now. So you can help them move forward. So now you're becoming a complete health coach, and you've got ways to check it. Then we add a weight resistance program eventually as the last component. Now sleep. Lori, just spend a moment on that.
Okay. Well, a lot of people, including me, before the book, don't realize how important sleep is for not only health, but weight loss. And if your clients learn this, their weight loss should, continue as they go on. If you find that they are starting to slow down and their weight loss isn't as well, of course you're going to ask them all the questions that you always do, but add sleep in there too. That's one that maybe you don't ask them. How much sleep are you getting? In the workbook, it goes through a whole exercise on how they should be sleeping, how they should be getting ready for sleep, how much they need, and it's just a great exercise for them to do. So if you have a client that's, even if you're not that far, that it's not really where they are in the book or whatever, guide them on to that chapter in the book and into the workbook so that they can get the benefits of healthy sleep.
Yeah, it's a simple reflex. We don't sleep well because we're overweight. We get up in the morning and we have a depletion of our neurotransmitters because we didn't replenish those. See, our brain is like a CPU. It needs to defrag at night. It needs to rest, settle down, reorganize in the brain so you wake up refreshed. If you don't wake up refreshed, what do you do all day at work? Drink coffee. Caffeine stimulates, it meshes in the brain and with acetylcholine, blah, 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 blah. And what it does is it makes you more awake. The problem is caffeine has a half-life of 6 hours. So in the afternoon, man, you're dying. So at work now, you have a glass of or a cup of coffee, and you have a candy bar, right? So now you're low glycemic, you're depleting your neurotransmitters more, and you now have caffeine in your blood. And then you're exhausted, and you go to lay down at night, and you can't sleep because you still have about 200 milligrams of caffeine in your body. You don't sleep well. You get up more, you eat more. You start eating all the wrong things because you're not sleeping well, and you're trying to bring more glucose into your brain so you feel better, and it forms this vicious cycle. By educating people and taking them from mindlessness and just treating their symptoms to knowing how to create health, you can make a dramatic difference and help. Because remember, the Habits of Health, the Take Shape for Life program is making small little choices, a bunch of small little choices across the board in your life versus trying to use one thing to do it all. If you try to get healthy using diet alone, you will fail. If you're not sleeping well, you're stressed out to the max, you're not moving your body, you will not be successful. But if you do all these things at 80%, right, together, they're not hard, but you got to learn to do them all, and they're all comprehensive. And see, most things out there focus on just one entity, right? There's a person that's the great physical trainer. There's a person that said they've created a great diet. There's the people out there that want to teach you how to sleep. There's the people that says, well, here's stress reduction. Man, what we're doing is we're giving it all in one simple, easy piece for people. So that's basically that. Okay, now we're going to fly. I'm just going to kind of go through. Actually, you know what? I might even do this.
We're out of time.
You're out of time?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, we need to move on.
You got the watch.
We need to move on. So what I'm going to do is just tell you this, is that we're going to do some trainings and workshops on this. Make sure you get with your team when you go back and start incorporating this. We're going to do a lot of support calls on it. We're going to do some webinars on it for everybody. And we're going to help you get trained up over the next couple months. But what we're really excited about is that now you have a comprehensive health system. And you know what? We need to send some telephone messages to DC and say, you guys chill out and work on some other stuff.
We got this one covered.